Hi, I'm Jasmine Nicole. Welcome to the Motivational Mystic, a space for authentic, higher conscious conversations to motivate, inspire, and empower. Thanks for listening. Each week, I'll drop a new conscious raising episode. Let's dive in. Your willpower is stronger than your proclivities, so don't give in to them. It's never too late to make a change. When you are intentional about doing internal work on yourself, you become aware of what your triggers are. You find out what triggers you, what drama or old storylines you're holding on to from the past. You really just begin the process of self-exploration and doing the internal work needed for self-improvement. To do that, you must clear all the baggage and heaviness you may be carrying around or unknowingly sweeping under the carpet. Everyone's got their share of drama or trauma they have experienced in their life that might have shaped your outlook or perception of reality. Whether it's shaped a negative or positive perception, when someone truly chooses to empower themselves or do the work to better themselves, you have to clear all of the muck out of your system, address your traumas, and not hold on to a past version of yourself. Committing to making all of those changes is notable. Making these intentional changes shows externally, where people will notice something different about you, something different about your energy. You may come off as more lighthearted or a more positive person, where before you're carrying around all these unresolved issues within yourself or baggage, and you may have exuded a more heavier or negative energy. When you decide to go on a self-improvement journey, you're intentional about freeing yourself from all that heaviness by addressing it. You're shedding it off. You're doing the shadow work where you're acknowledging your trauma and choosing not to be defined by it, releasing some baggage you've been carrying along the way, and becoming a lighter version of yourself. And by becoming lighter, you're making room to let your inner light shine. Don't be afraid to let your spirit, your inner light, shine, because you are truly happy with yourself and the reflection you see staring back at you in the mirror, because you intentionally worked on becoming the person that you are proud of seeing the reflection of. If you are a person that is truly open-hearted, you treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't have to lie, cheat, swindle, or steal to make it in life or keep your head above water. And that's something to be proud of, because not everyone is operating under those same principles. When you are a person of integrity, a person of authenticity, a person of good moral character, people can sense that. They pick up on it. Those attributes are kind of rare to find in people nowadays, because most people are just looking out for themselves and doing or being whatever they need to do to look out for number one. There's nothing wrong with having ambition and drive, wanting the best and wanting to be the best, but you can do that and it doesn't have to be at the expense of other people. You can have a moral compass too. However, not everyone has a moral compass. Some people are really out here just operating off of low self-esteem, ego, adrenaline, and competition. When a person is working on bettering themselves, I think it's important to work towards bringing your mind, body, and soul into alignment. Your egoic mind can take you down some very dangerous paths in the need to fulfill itself and accomplish what it feels it needs to accomplish, even if it may not be in your best interest to do so. But for the ego, it's just a means to an end. The heart will give you more of that emotional intelligence and understanding and evaluating if, hey, is this the right way to do things? Am I ethical? Am I moral in how I'm doing things and interacting with people? And the cool thing about the spirit is adaptable. The spirit will align and fall into cohesion with how the mind and the body are working together in order for you to accomplish what you need to. So it's good to expose your spirit to positive thoughts and positive feelings. The soul also has its own form of intelligence, I honestly feel that is what people tap into when you get a certain vibe about a person or situation, and you just can't put your finger on it, but you feel something is off. Your gut instinct kicks in, and there's a certain energy or vibe you pick up on, and it doesn't feel right, and you can't logically rationalize it, but you sense this deep internal knowing that something just seems off. I feel that's when the soul makes itself most known. And it's your conscience essentially kicking in saying, hey, something ain't right here. Red flag on the play. Something is amiss. So having alignment with all three aspects of yourself, mind, body, and soul, when you are doing the internal work to better yourself and self-improve is important. Ultimately, I feel that should be the goal, to be in alignment with your being. Because we all know people who may be over emotional and don't know how to manage their emotions well. They're all over the place. It can be overwhelming to interact with someone who doesn't know how to manage their emotions well. It's like having to walk on eggshells around them because you don't know what will set them off or trigger an emotional response. Or, for example, you have someone that is deeply in their ego, where they are essentially controlled by it. If you've ever been around a narcissistic person, they're controlled by their ego and can be pretty tiresome to be around because they live in their own mental, chaotic world, and they need to convince other people to play into it, to validate their perception of reality and help them to embody their main character energy because they need that validation. And it's like, sometimes I'm going to want to embody my own main character energy, so I don't have time to pander to you. So please remove yourself. Get out of here. I don't need to follow you. When you're in alignment, it's almost like looking at the soul, the spirit, as being a natural balancer, the scale. The scale that is keeping your emotional side and your mental egoic side in balance. Eckhart Tolle refers to the soul as the watcher, and I think there's really something to that. When you're on a journey of self-improvement, a journey of self-empowerment, people may try to remind you of the old version of yourself, and this is where becoming aware of what your triggers are is important. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Your growth, your evolution, your desire to uplift yourself is your business. So keep it that way. It's really up to you what that looks like. Block out the external noise of people commenting on what they see. It's not up to them. It's not in their control. It's in yours. And maintaining your focus, maintaining your positive mindset, maintaining that optimism that you're ready to level up, you're ready to be something more, you're ready to evolve, is a inside personal journey. And it's only for you to evaluate how far you want to go, but just make sure you're making time to give yourself acknowledgement, appreciation, encouragement about the little steps you're taking along the way, because eventually those little steps will add up. The first part and the hardest part is just really taking the time to be introspective and look at those shadowy parts of yourself that you may not like, but they may be holding you back because you don't want to address them. And it may be scary to do that, but I promise you, it is so rewarding and self-fulfilling once you finally get through that barrier, that kind of level of resistance there of not letting past traumas, old storylines, old versions of yourself keep you trapped and stagnant. Because life is what you make it. And if you want more for yourself, you want to evolve, you want to improve, that is an inside journey. And it should start and finish within you. Well, that's all I have for today, everyone. I felt called just to really share that because there's many people at this time who I'm coming across, even including myself, that are really going through this like self-transformation of self-discovery, self-improvement, self-empowerment. And it's not easy, but it is worth it. And once you come out of the other side of it and you look back and see how far you've come, you may not even recognize that old version of yourself. You may be in complete disbelief and shock of the transformation that you have made, and you've made it for you and no one else. So if you are a person listening right now that is on that self-improvement, self-empowerment, self-exploration journey, continue to do so. Continue pushing forward, and don't be afraid to let your inner light shine. Your journey of self-empowerment, self-improvement, self-exploration is exactly what is implied, your journey. Protect it and don't feel the need to explain yourself to anyone. While you're intentional about doing the work, the internal work, to get to a place in which you want to be, protect that, and don't be afraid to let your inner light shine. Because in the process of doing this internal work, you will have to confront those shadowy aspects of yourself that most people want to avoid. So when you are just shedding these layers of trauma, baggage, unresolved issues that you might have swept under the carpet, you will become a lighter version of yourself. And you will make space within yourself to fill those areas that were once clouded in heaviness, maybe self-judgment, maybe self-doubt, with new positive things. And that is a beautiful thing to look forward to and be excited about. So to anyone out there who is currently on a self-exploration, self-improvement, self-empowerment journey, good job. You are not alone in that, and keep on moving forward. Until next time, everyone. Goodbye.